It's gonna be hard, I heard.
I'm doing like,
Oh,
I'm
nice.
doing my previous. I have a mattress and everything.
Oh,
I'm just doing my
nice.
previous.
Hey, friend.
Hi.
How are you today?
Good, good.
Well, thank you for allowing me to interrupt your lunch.
Yeah.
Well, Talanchie, Talon, or T as I like to call you. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good.
Love it. Well, I actually met you in coordination.
Mhm.
Well, technically, I didn't meet you, girl. I trained you, and you were one of the best of the best. But then
Yeah.
you disappeared and you went on and do something else in healthcare. So what do you
Yeah.
do now, girl?
I work in quality insurance, the quality department
Okay.
for home care. And essentially quality is just making sure that the services and the patients are like well taken care of and everything is up to par, and
Got
we're
it.
not like the company's not liable for anything that could potentially happen or hurt us.
So it's like customer service within the company for the company.
Yeah. And we work together with compliance. So quality and compliance work like together.
Got it.
Yes,
So you
yeah.
make sure nobody gets sued.
Yes, yes. So I'm the incident support specialist.
Mhm.
So, with patients, there's a bunch of incidents like falls, hospitalizations, theft, what else? A bunch of other things. But my job is to make sure that those reports are prepared well, that everything is in there just in case, potential lawsuits or anything else comes back to us, that we have essentially all the I's are dotted and all the T's are crossed, and that we're good.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds fun. It's
Yeah.
very different than
Then
coordination.
yeah.
Because coordination is what?
Well, it's like coordinating the aides, who goes into the patient's home, and
Got
just
it.
making sure that there's a physical body there to take care of that patient during the time that the authorization is placed for. So,
Okay, so
yeah.
why did you end up in? I mean, you're still in healthcare.
Yeah.
Fun fact for those watching: you actually have a marketing degree.
Yeah.
So, how'd you end up in healthcare to begin with? And we'll talk about how you went from coordination to quality.
So, how did I end up in healthcare? So, I got my bachelor's degree in sociology, and then I wanted to at first be a teacher. So I really had like this passion to being a teacher. I actually worked at a daycare center, early childhood, for about a year and a half.
Okay.
But then I also started developing this this passion for fashion.
Yes.
So I started working at a fashion company, and then I really was like intrigued, and I loved fashion. So I gave up teaching, and I went to get my master's in fashion marketing. So, so after I graduated, fashion marketing, I did a couple of internships. I had a blast, and comes the time where you have to apply for jobs, and you're sitting there like, here's my resume, here's my degree, but no experience. So it took a really long time, and nobody was like hiring.
Yeah, they want the experience, but they won't allow you to get it.
So so then I reached a point where I was like, I'm just going to take whatever job I can, because at that point I needed money. So
Yeah.
I started working at the airport for a while.
So what'd you do there? I worked at the airport
I
too,
was,
girl.
I
I did, but
it
I was
was-
in my field though. I was
it
working
was-
communications.
I worked customer service. I was
that must have been horrible.
It was horrible.
People at the airport are some of the worst people. It's like there's something about I'm going to where I need to get to that makes people rude, but once they're there, they're happy.
So bad, and I don't even want to say the airport or the company I worked for.
It's just people.
But it was an airport in New York, so it was so bad.
It was LaGuardia.
It was 20-year construction. It was so bad, and I stayed there for a while, and I tried to hang in there, and then I started applying again, and I was like, at this point, I just have to continue and try to find a career, because I was not getting anything in fashion marketing. I was doing like side fashion stuff, like thrifting, content, but I was not making money with that, and I needed like a paycheck.
And that's not to interrupt you, but that's one of the things I love the most about you. I love your thrifting, fashion. Like that's my favorite thing about you, to be honest. But
I
go ahead.
love being. I wanted so bad to be in the fashion industry. That was my goal. I was like, I need to be in the fashion industry. But sometimes, it just,
You needed to eat.
you know what I mean? There was bills.
Yes. So you got your job.
Yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, you got it off of Craigslist.
Was it Craigslist? It was. Was it Craigslist? I don't remember, but it might have been, or Indeed, or something like that.
Okay, I doubt it was Indeed. I think it was Craigslist, friend. Because remember, I was your trainer, and they were a little they were special. It was Craigslist.
So, and it's funny because I was not sure about. I've never coordinated before, and I didn't even really tell the airport that I was quitting. I just went to the interview and I went to the orientation for the healthcare job, and then I was like, and then the person who interviewed me said, "I'm going to give you this amount of money," and I was like, "Oh, that's more than I'm making over here." So I'm just gonna.
It wasn't me.
I was like, I'm just gonna, take it. So that's how I ended up.
But you didn't know it was about to be LaGuardia part 2.
I did not know that. I did not know that.
Okay.
So, but that's how I ended up in healthcare. I still try to do like fashion stuff on the side. Definitely still try to keep my creative side going.
Okay.
But now I'm like fully have like a career in healthcare.
And that's so nice that you said that, because you literally went there for a job, for a paycheck. You learned a new skill.
Yeah.
And then now you're having a career.
Yeah.
Like you literally learned something completely new, which happened to me too. I knew nothing. My background was in criminal justice, right? The goal was to be an attorney. Did the whole law school thing.
Yeah.
And then I too needed a job and fell into healthcare, and then realized like, oh, I actually don't hate this. And I'm good at it.
Yes. That's what happened to me too. Like right now, I can genuinely say that I love my job.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even lying. I love my job. The experience I got with coordination gave me a step up, and like, I know the industry. So now my job is like, it's easy for me to do. So
what would you say to somebody? Because I actually interviewed somebody earlier today.
Yeah.
And they ended up in healthcare. They actually wanted to be in healthcare.
Yeah.
Got a biology degree, the whole shebang. And then they made it to healthcare and they hated it. So, and you're the opposite. You're like, hey, I just wanted to be here temporarily.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah.
What about healthcare do you love?
I think for me, I will say I like the corporate side of healthcare. I like the customer service side of healthcare. Like, I can sit on the phone with a patient and talk to them all day. I can sit with a family member and talk to them all day. I hate blood. I hate surgery. I hate all that stuff. So you have to figure out what part of healthcare. Me personally, I know I don't want to be in a hospital every day. But corporately, if I can go through paperwork. I love that. I can talk to to patients. I can talk to clinical managers. I can talk to my director about cases all day. I think like when you think about healthcare, you have to figure out what side of healthcare you want to do. Do you want to do administrative stuff, or do you want to physically be in a hospital taking care? I mean, the customer side of it is both.
Correct.
But you have to think about day to day, where do I want to be? Do I want to be in an office setting, or in my home working remote, talking to people, doing paperwork? Or do you want to be in a hospital physically taking care of somebody?
I chuckled earlier because everything you said that you love about healthcare, the episode that's going to air before yours was all the reason she hated it.
She doesn't like the administrative part of it at all.
That's literally why I chuckled, because she literally said, I didn't realize that healthcare was a business. I don't like business. Healthcare is a business and I don't like it. And I laugh because you said that's why I like it, because healthcare is more than hospital settings. It's an organization and it's a business. And I think, if I'm being honest, that is part of the reasons why I created this series. Because whenever I would speak to people, they would always assume that healthcare is the nurse, the provider, and the front desk people, and they never realize that everything you have in a regular business, healthcare also has it. People need to get paid.
There's a back end,
right? There's directors, there's people, there's quality, lawsuits, there's lawyers. So I love the fact that you said that, and I love that you're telling the viewers, figure out what you like, and
Yeah.
then find if in healthcare there's that.
Yes.
And then you can do that, but within the field.
Yeah.
Because you could have done marketing. You
Yeah.
could have used your marketing
Of
degree.
course. Yeah.
in
You
healthcare.
could still, exactly. You could still, if you have a marketing degree, you can still work in healthcare.
Yes.
Because there's, like you said, there's so many departments, there's so many different things you can do. And it's funny you say that, because the other day I was talking to someone, they're like, oh, what do you do for work? I was like, oh, I'm in healthcare. Because sometimes, like, going in to describe what I do can
It's
get
difficult.
very
Technical.
tedious, and like people look at me like, what? Because describing quality is like, and then I said I work in healthcare, and I usually say, oh, corporate side. And then they're like, so at first I said healthcare, and they're like, are you a nurse? Like, you're a nurse?
That's always the first question.
Like, are you a nurse or an LPN? I'm like, no, I work on the corporate side of it. So you just have to figure out like what part of it fits you. And I didn't know that. When I first started, I hated coordination.
I remember.
Hated. But the part I hated was
it's funny, you hated the management side of it, and now here you are on the other side.
What I hate, like I said, what I hated was putting out fires from a desk. So you're like trying to not control, but making sure that the patients and the aides that you're sending to their house, you're making sure everything is good there.
Yeah.
But
it's like matchmaking.
Yes, and you can't control how people act. You can't control how the patient acts. You can't control how the aide acts. But I love the customer side. I love talking to my patients. I love making sure they were okay. You know what I mean? But I just hated the part of like, you send somebody to somebody's house and they get there, they're like, oh, I'm leaving.
Yes.
So then now you have this sick person and you're like 15 miles away behind the desk, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to make sure this person has another person at their house.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's the stressful part of it. That's the only part I didn't like about coordination.
What I found interesting with coordination is that a lot of people end up in coordination, even caregivers, and I hope one day to interview 1 or 2 caregivers.
Yeah.
Because it's such an easy job to get into.
Yeah.
A lot of people get into it for the paycheck.
For the
when
money.
it's one of the jobs, one of the few jobs where you actually have to love
what you
to
do.
get into, because you're dealing with elderly people. In our culture, because you speak Creole, it's like they always tell you the older the person gets, the more annoying they get, right?
Absolutely.
And then on top of that, many of them are sick, which add an added
another
stressor
layer
to the job.
Yeah.
And people go to that job because oh, it's easy. It takes me like 3 weeks, 2 weeks to get a certificate.
Yeah.
And then I can make $22, $23 an hour. Easy.
Yeah.
And if I work for several agencies, I might make more money than the person sitting in the office.
Exactly.
But it requires heart.
Yeah.
You have to enjoy service.
Yeah. And it's also really tough because you can have a set case where you go to the same patient every day. But also you can go to different people every day, and you walking into a different situation every single day.
Yes.
So you have to love what you do. You have to be able to say, hey, I'm here to take care of this person, and like block out all the other things that are within that home, or you know what I mean? So that's the only thing I didn't like about coordination. It's like it's hard to have control over a situation like that, because you can't control the aide and you can't control the patient.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of different things thrown at you on a daily basis.
And as a quality person, you feel like you have more control?
Absolutely.
Actually, well, you're setting the tone.
Because I do the same thing every day. So clinical managers send me incidents of, hey, this patient fell today. And what I do is like just making sure that as a company, after that fall, we did everything we were supposed to do.
Got it.
The aide called 911. The patient was taken whether the patient was taken to the hospital or not. Is the aide trained proper? Did the aide pick up the patient off the floor? Because they're not supposed to.
They're not.
So I just have to make sure that, hey, in this report, it said the aide picked up the patient off the floor. We're not supposed to do that. Make sure you train that aide, and then we add that to that report. So then if the insurance company comes back and says, why did that aide pick that patient off the floor? We can say, we already got that covered. She was trained.
Got it.
So it's just making sure that everything is like set properly after something.
What would you say to somebody that says that your role is in essence protecting the company from getting sued, but it's not really taking care of the patient?
I would say that's not it necessarily, because if we drop the ball, we admit to it. So it's not like we're lying.
Got it.
So if the aide does something that they're not supposed to do, we will say, hey, this happened. The patient, let's say the patient got like severely injured, broke a leg because the aide didn't use the Hoyer lift properly, right?
Correct.
We're not gonna say, hey, the aide didn't do it. We will say, hey, this patient broke her leg because the aide didn't have enough training for the Hoyer lift. She got more training, or she's removed off patients with Hoyer lifts, or if she comes to termination, she's terminated.
Got
you know
it.
what I mean?
So you're basically making
Yeah.
the aids better for future patients.
Yeah. So it's not like lying or like withholding information.
Got it.
It's more so just making sure that everything goes properly the way it's supposed to.
Love that.
Yeah.
So properly and where it's supposed to go, are you moving forward or you like it where you at? Not the job, but the position.
I see myself doing this for at least, I want to say another 5 years. I actually really love the company I work for right now, so I would love to move up in that company. So
where do you go? Where do you go up? What's up? Do you stay in-
supervisor?
Okay, so you
in
could move up
quality,
within quality.
Director, quality.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, you're smart. I know you can do it.
Yeah, I really like it. So, but it also, I really like that side of the job, but it also gives me time for me to pursue like anything creatively like I want to.
That's what I was gonna get
Yeah.
to. I was gonna say you in healthcare, you have a creative side.
Yeah.
Can you do something about the scrubs? I'm just
Me?
saying.
There's a lot of companies out there that have really cute scrubs, okay?
Are there?
They are. I should do some I've seen some of them, but I don't think scrubs are like as blah as they used to be before. There's really cute scrub companies out there.
Oh, so maybe it's just me then. Because I'm about to say, girl, like, do something. Give me some quality cute scrubs.
That says QT all over.
That would be so cute. I love that for you. Just remember, if it does happen, 5%. I don't know 110.
You know
5%.
what would be funny?
What?
If I came out with a scrub line.
It would. And then I
That
could
would
tell
be-
people it started on Hey Fween.
Liz told me I should come out with a scrub line. And
Yes,
here
ma'am.
we are.
And here we are.
But there are some really cute ones out there. I don't think the scrub industry is the same as it used to be before. There's really different fabrics, different like styles,
Yeah.
designs. So.
Well, before we let you go,
Mhm.
because you are eating and you stopped eating for me.
This roll is really good, actually.
It sure is. So before I let you go, I do have a question since we're talking about quality and things are changing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot happening in our healthcare system.
Mm-hmm.
If you could have a magic wand as a quality person, what would you change about healthcare?
I had a wand. Okay. One thing that's always bothered me is just the way that home care itself with the aides, how it's set up. I think that aides, they're not supposed to do clinical things. They're not supposed to do things like that. But I do think they need more training.
Got it.
Right? I think that if you send somebody in someone's home that has like dementia or Alzheimer's, who's really old, who might have who's not mobile, who's in a bed. One thing that really bothered me when I worked as a coordinator is, I think that, like you said, you can just take a 2-week class, you get a certificate, and you're sent into a patient's home.
Yeah.
I think that what we need in healthcare, especially in home care, is more training for the aides.
Got it. Maybe that's what you could do.
change.
You could have a consulting.
That's what
after
I would
your
change.
5 years. You could have a consulting firm.
Yeah.
Where you go in, you consult the aides, and then you give them the more training.
Because I think once an aide does something, once you sit them down and you really talk to them, I think you can see the change.
Yes.
But I think it's so general and it's a business, and they just the insurance companies just want to get their money, so they just. I think what I would change is more training for the HHAs that go into the homes.
Well, thank you, friend. Well, if there's one thing I will change, is making sure I see you a little bit more often.
Okay, I haven't seen you in 2 years.
Well, you didn't have to call me out on the camera.
It's 2025.
But thank you, friend, for meeting with me.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your sushi. It's a rock and roll.
Yes.
Enjoy the rest of your
That's
rock and roll.
caviar on top of it too.
Okay,
Fancy,
bougie. You went up.
Fancy,
Okay,
girl.
Miss No Longer Coordinator. Well, you enjoy the rest of your lunch, and we'll see you soon, friend. Bye,
Thank
friend.
you. Bye. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the key.
Hey, friend.